Hey guys, welcome back to more political chatter. Today we will be talking about this special election that occurred last night in Iowa's first state Senate district. Now, the Democrat won in this race. This is a flip, and it actually breaks the supermajority in the Iowa State Senate. But that's not even what's important. What's important is the shockwaves that is sent through the political universe because of what an overperformance this Democrat performed in this race. I mean, you could see this Democrat dry won 55 to 46. Okay, an 11-point win in State Senate District 1 in Iowa. But look at that 2024 margin. Donald Trump won this district in 2024 by 11.5%. This is a 22% swing towards the Democratic Party from 2024. Look at this district right near Sioux City, a relatively Republican city, one of the smaller districts in the state. But this is Iowa. This is a Republican state, and it's no shock that Donald Trump won in this district by 11.5%. What's more shocking is this overperformance by the Democrat. Not only do they flip the seat, not only do they break the supermajority in the Iowa State Senate, but it's by 22%. It ended up being not even that close. So here's the final result. It was only 4,200 votes to 3,400 votes. Only 7,619 votes were cast. But still, this is a stunning overperformance. No one really expected it to be this much of a blowout, even with what we've seen in special elections. But what's really important is not this one individual race, which we'll get to in a moment, why we can't, weigh these races too much. What's more important is the trend that we're seeing. So the New York Times put together, or some magazine put together, how each party did in special elections earlier in the year, and then how the House popular vote actually turned out in that year. So you could see in 2017 to 2018, Democrats won the average special election in 2017 to 2018. Races just like this Senate race, this state Senate race, they won by an average of 6 percentage points. In November, they won the House popular vote by 9 percentage points. That's a pretty good indicator of how the House turned out. That's only 3 points off. But look at 2019 to 2020. They won in special elections by 2%. Democrats ended up winning the House by 3%. Another great indicator, but it continues. From 2021 to 2022, Republicans won special elections in those years. And what do you know? 2022 midterms ended up being a Republican favorable year by 3%. It was just 1 point off. And then you had a bit of you can't even call it a mishap because of how close it was. But in from 2023 to 2024, their special elections, Democrats won by an average of 2 points. Republicans would end up winning the House by 3. That's still a 5-point difference. That is not too different. But in the end, even that little error there, +2 to +3, it really doesn't even matter when you're looking at 2025 to 2026, the time we're in now, because look at this margin. Democrats have won your average special election this year so far by 13 percentage points, absolutely shattering any record they had set before that. Even in 2018, from 2017 to 2018, they won those special elections by 6. Remember, that was the massive blue wave year. I mean, just take a look at the House in 2018. They won districts no one thought was possible to flip. Wait, yeah, this is 2018. They won 235 seats in the House. The Republicans won 200. That is a comfortable margin. And if special elections are any indicator of performance, they won by 6. Democrats are more than doubling that. If special elections are any indicator of how the House of Representatives or the Senate or anything or governor races turn out in the midterm elections, then we're looking at an absolute blue wave year come 2026, because again, they're more than doubling their margin as of now in special elections. This is 2018. This is when Democrats were able to flip Oklahoma's 5th congressional district out of nowhere, out of complete nowhere. This is when they won 3 out of 4 congressional districts in the state of Iowa, completely out of nowhere. No one saw that coming. There were so many stunning performances. This is when they won Arizona's first district with Tom O'Halloran, one of the most rural districts in the country. This was a blue wave year, simply put. In the House, the Senate, I mean, even in the Senate, that had a strong result given the map. It was a very tough map in 2018, and they still performed very, very well. They won West Virginia, they won Ohio, they won Montana, they almost won North Dakota, or I shouldn't say almost, but they came within 11 points in the state of North Dakota. They flipped Arizona. I mean, it was a just a blue wave year throughout the country. I mean, in the Senate, in the House, in the gubernatorial races. And again, it could be a minor indicator, it could be a major indicator, but if special elections are any indicator of the Democrats' performance in November, then we're looking at a massive blue wave for the Democratic Party. But coming back to this race in Iowa, I want to bring up New York's 19th congressional district. They had a special election in 2024. I'm sorry, this is 2022. This is August of 2022. Anthony Delgado resigned his seat to become lieutenant governor of New York. He left his seat vacant. You had Pat Ryan running against Mark Molinaro. And this was a Biden plus 1% district, I want to say. Or maybe it was Trump plus one, to be honest, but I think it's Biden plus one in 2020. Everyone thought the Republicans would win this race. This is 2022. Remember, we were going into 2022 thinking that it would be a red wave year. Biden was unpopular. He was the incumbent Democratic president. Just based off the historical facts, the opposite party doing better in midterm elections. We were going into 2022 expecting it to be a red wave year, especially in a district that was Biden plus one, basically, split 50-50. So I will tell you, I remember this night very well. It was a shock when the Democrat, Pat Ryan, came out as the winner by just 2,000 votes, winning by 2%. Um, and again, it was a shock to the system. And what do you know? We went into November, and it wasn't as much of a red wave as we thought. So this, after 2022, we came back to this and said this was the indicator. The polls that were showing a red wave, those were not, indicative of the actual November result. These special election results were. So after 2022, we started to put a lot more weight into these special elections. Much more than polls, much more than anything. And that was true. We should have, because when you look at this, how they performed in special elections, 2021 to 2022, look at that. It was Republican plus four. They ended up winning the House by 3%. It was a very good indicator, actually, of how the House would go, these special elections. So then, when you move into 2024, I will tell you, we put a lot of weight into this special election from July in 2024. Ohio's 6th congressional district had a special election. I forget why. The Republican won in this deep red district, as expected. Michael Ruley beat Michael Kripchak. But look at that margin. It was by 9%. Now, I don't know exactly what Trump won by in this district in 2020, but it was probably something like Republican plus 30. This is a safe Republican district. Nobody expected the Democrat to come within 20 points. So I will tell you, it was an incredible shock when the Democrat came within 9 points. I mean, people went crazy over this, and it was very reminiscent of this New York 19th district. So after this happened, people started saying, "Oh wait, this was when Biden was still in the race." People started saying, "Oh wait, Biden might just have a chance." We went into 2022 thinking it was going to be a red wave year. This proved otherwise, and it ended up being otherwise. It was not a red wave year. Now, in 2024, we're going into this race thinking it's going to be a red wave year. This proves otherwise. It must be otherwise. It must not be a blue wave year. And what do you know? Or sorry, it must not be a red wave year. What do you know? It ended up being a red wave year anyway, and this special election failed us. So my point is, you can't look at a single special election. You cannot look at this single one and say it's going to be a blue wave in 2024. You can't even look at this, even though it did prove indicative. You shouldn't even look at this and say, oh, 2022 is going to be a blue wave year. What you have to do, is look at the average, and the average is showing us that Democrats are going to crush the opposition, the Republicans, as of now. They're ahead by 13 in special elections. That's more than 2018, the blue wave year. Now, we still have a year to go. It's still 2025. We still have to see how these special elections go in 2026. There will be a lot. And maybe this number will change. But on the track things are going right now, Donald Trump's approval is going down even more rapidly than Trump's approval is the decline in the generic ballot numbers for Republicans. They have not won a single generic ballot poll in literal months. They keep going down. I've been seeing double-digit leads on the generic ballot for Democrats. Everything is indicating a blue wave for Democrats in 2026, and these special elections are proving just that. Democrats are on track for a major victory come 2026. And again, if this is anything, this is a 22-point swing towards the Democratic Party. If there was a 22-point swing in every Iowa State Senate district, I saw a Twitter post about this, they would have a near supermajority. They would have an easy majority. The Democrats would, not the Republicans. The Democrats would in the Iowa State Senate. A 22-point swing towards the left would be monumental in any race in 2026 for the Democratic Party. We will see if that happens. So thank you all for watching this video. I hope you all enjoyed it. Make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't. Drop a comment and drop a like to let me hear your thoughts on this. And I will see you all later.